Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Ireland chapter of PMI. This is our lunchtime series of webinars. And today I'm delighted to have Tolga join me, Tolga Özel, who is also a member of the Turkish chapter of the PMI. He's here to talk to us today about project economy in a digital world. For those of you who may have checked out my LinkedIn post on this as well, Tolga is going to talk to us about the project economy in the digital world. He also shared with us a blog that we have on our website as well for everyone to have a look at. You can see here on the screen a little bit about Tolga and his background. Today, when he's talking to us about the project economy, technology is evolving, and this is enabling a lot of digital opportunities. We've all seen this in the past year with the pandemic in particular. We've got all these opportunities to connect people, our businesses and our communities, and we name it this digital world. And it has a lot of characteristics of the VUCA world, which we may remember from previous presentations. So vulnerable, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So while there are a lot of positive things about these digital opportunities, it allows some fast innovation. It can also be disruptive, and it is transforming our lives. So today he's going to speak to us about how it's transforming our lives. He's going to focus on us as project managers and as project professionals. So we have a packed agenda today, so we are going to aim to keep time at the end for a Q&A. Do pop your questions into the chat. If we don't have time to cover them all, we will pass them on to Tolga afterwards, and we will do a follow-up. So, Tolga, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you very much, Katrina. Happy to be here.
So I'm going to hand over now to Tolga. Guys, just to let you all know, as always, we will take care of your PDU. So we have one technical PDU for attending today. So that will all be taken care of after the presentation. So Tolga, I'm going to hand over to you now.
Great, let me share my screen.
Perfect. So while Tolga is setting up his screen there to share, guys, just welcome to everybody. We have quite a packed agenda today, as I was just saying. So we are going to hold our Q&A to the very end. And if we don't get time for all of it, we will pass any of your questions on to Tolga. So Tolga, thank you very much. And I'll let you take center stage.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm very excited to be here with you today. I appreciate the invitation of PMI Ireland chapter. One of the most successful PMI chapter in Europe. Very much appreciated. In fact, I have been in Dublin several times, early 2000s, for my project work. And always remember that Irish people are very entertaining. And perhaps the reason is I spend a lot of time in Temple Bar area. I feel like this. So I am PMI region mentor in Europe, responsible for mainly Eastern Europe. And also I am program, project, and portfolio manager in digital transformation, telecom, and media domain. So today I will talk about interaction of project economy and digital world. And we will explore the capabilities and skills we need to turn ideas into reality. So I want to start first to recognize innovators, creators, and operators of digital technologies in fight with COVID-19 and send my appreciation because the capabilities they provide allow us to stay at home and still continue our life, slow down the spread of virus, and also reduce workload on healthcare systems. I imagine if we faced this problem 10 years ago, I think our life will be impacted negatively, much higher. And therefore, with the capabilities enabled through digital world, we can survive for this during this pandemic. And big appreciation for those. So my speech will be mainly in two parts. The first part will be about the definition of the digital world, what we have, what we are coming, what is coming on the way. And also second part is more about the project economy and project management skills and capabilities. So if we define the digital world, so I think fundamental source of the evolution, the digital world is the evolution of the technology, and it is very fast. And also democratization of the technology for the masses. So now a very big population is able to access these technologies and start and getting benefit of it. With mobile internet access, smartphones, and high-speed internet connections, we are able to work, do shopping, communicate, and access to information anytime, anywhere. And also, the new generation is, they don't know a life without an internet even. So therefore, the main driver of the digital world is of course, technology. So I will give more insight on this. Another feature, another aspect of the digital world is innovation. So innovation is very fast in these times. Of course, innovation exists all the way in history, but during the digital era, the innovation is faster. And also this innovation are disrupting the existing businesses. So we call it a disruptive innovation. And also we see that value chains are deconstructing. So with a digital solution, existing value chain of an industry or of a business is can easily be deconstructed. Like, for example, hotel business, Booking.com can enter hotel business. Uber can enter the taxi business value chain. So in digital solution, with digital solution, the deconstruction of the value chain is easier. And also different parties from different industries can cooperate in this value chain. And of course, data, we generate a lot of data. Data is big, and this is a very valuable asset of the digital world. So this data can be analyzed, evaluated, it can be used for any purpose to create new innovations or to address the challenges, to develop the solutions. Another aspect of the startup digital world is the startup ecosystem. So startups can focus on a specific problem, and they can address this problem. They can be more focused on solving this certain problem than the big enterprises. Therefore, startups are very much supported. And also, you see when there is a successful solution, we see mergers and acquisitions of the startups. As Katrina mentioned, so this work also described as VUCA world. So it is volatility, uncertainty, and complexity and ambiguity. So, in fact, when we talk about the digital world, I imagine this architecture. So we have end users. Now it's not necessarily are the people, also the things are using this architecture, and they access to the information, to applications, to services, digital services, through access networks and transport networks. And this architecture, in fact, very much supported with the development of software industry. So we have, and those applications those software applications can reside on the cloud architectures. So overall, with computation power, storage, expansion, and the software industry development. Those digital services are provided to our use. So as we see, all these technology components are evolving to complement each other in digital world. So access network has to provide faster access. Transport networks has to carry a lot of data, and we need to share the resources by virtualization, and cloud architecture are providing necessary computational power to us. So all these architecture, even the end user devices, are evolving by complementing to each other. We also consume digitally. So as you see, the 5 billion people has access to mobile devices, and more than 4.5 billion people has access to internet already, and many people are already in social media, connected to each other and consuming the content on social media. And on the other hand, as you see, this is the famous internet 1 minute charts. So every minute we use a lot of resources on the money, and we spend money and time on digital solutions. And this is increasing every year, every month. So we have also observed that those digital solutions can substitute easily when we are in trouble. So this Zoom applications that we are using at the moment is one of the good example that after people stop traveling and start working from their home and still want to communicate with people from other geographies. So they, Zoom platform and other conferencing systems has provided good value. And as you see, this value has tremendous increase. And now more than several airlines reach to value of several airlines already. So maybe the question can be, this is digital disruption or the substitute. So at the moment it is substitute, but after we recover, we have more normal life. I believe some of this substitution will remain, and it will be a disruption for the transportation and airline business. So we will see this. Currently, there are new technologies rolling out. So I listed several of them here. So these are supporting the digital world and will enable us to have new services, new innovation opportunities, and of course will impact our lives. So 5G, Internet of Things, artificial intelligence, blockchain, additive manufacturing, quantum computers, robots, augmented and virtual reality, drones, connected and autonomous vehicles are about to change our life. So it's they started rolling out, and from project management point of view, our projects and these technologies will be subject to our project also maybe our projects will produce some of these technologies. So we need to consider with this perspective as well. I will give some insight from several of those technologies coming at the moment, rolling out. So 5G is one of the biggest impactful technology. It's already started rolling out. 1 billion people will have access by 2022, and by 2026, 3.3 billion people will have access to 5G. 5G main benefit of 5G is faster, low latency, higher broadband access, and it will allow us to connect devices more easily, and the smart home, smart city, smart school applications can be deployed easier with the 5G. So IoT, or Internet of Things. So we now Internet try to connect things for certain applications like connected cars, connected TVs, smart cities, fleet control, connected manufacturing to monitor each component of the manufacturing. It's a very big opportunity with 5G, and also remote healthcare operations will be possible with this 5G low latency connection. According to a report, 10% rise in IoT connections will lead increases of GDP 0.7%. Another big wave is artificial intelligence. We had data storage, database, warehouse, big data, business intelligence. Now it is transforming to artificial intelligence. So now this data can be used for the learning of the machines. So we have enormous data, and this data can be used to train the machines and to give some complex to enable solving complex problems. Again, according to another report, sorry. So the artificial intelligence will add the economy around 13 trillion by 2030. Also, there are debates that artificial intelligence may trouble for the job market, especially routine tasks, jobs, so may have impacted. But I believe the artificial intelligence will enable other opportunities for the job market. We have also seen that artificial intelligence has supported vaccine development. So as you see in the news, European biotech companies rely on artificial intelligence. Also, the pioneer of the vaccine, BioNTech, has also signed an agreement with an artificial intelligence solution provider. And artificial intelligence will support a lot for the medicine development, already supported during COVID-19 vaccine development, but for other medicines, also other vaccines will also get help from the artificial intelligence. About connected cars, I bring an example from Turkey. So this is, although there are whole automotive industry are now working on the connected cars and autonomous cars. But this is a startup. I mean, they start from scratch and they develop a connected car by birth. So they don't have previous generation of this car. So this is the first car they will launch will be connected, electric, and autonomous capable. So you can consider this car not only as a car, it's like your mobile phone. So when our mobile phone became smart, so we could embed a lot of application inside. Also, our cars will be smart cars in coming future. So there will be, we may able to embed a lot of applications. Therefore, there are tremendous opportunities and innovations, services around the mobility. This is not only driving the car, but not only the experience in car driving, but also wider mobility experience. So another technology I am following closely is blockchains. So currently we have blockchains mainly for cryptocurrencies widely used. And also for business applications, business processes start using blockchains. But I expect blockchain will also change whole internet. So when we connect individual blockchains, it will transform all internet flows and our experience with internet, I guess. Okay, upon I tried to give some insight from the from technology perspective, what is coming, or what can be the impact to our life. So how we handle this in our projects as we consider producing these technologies and innovations, and also we are utilizing these technologies in our projects to develop other products. So as you may know, PMI has defined project economy. In fact, this is strong branding of what we are doing. In fact, we were doing already project for the economy, but PMI name it strongly. And this is now we are working for project economy, and we need skills and capabilities for project economy. This is PMI's strategic. This is because of PMI strategic transformation. Then this is to impress the current state of the project management. So in VUCA world, where disruption, uncertainty, and vulnerability is high, and we need to consider how to be agile and to overcome this uncertainty and vulnerability. And also we need to bring innovations to be competitive and also to develop, to generate the value. In this new life, projects and operations are also getting closer to each other. So previously they were considered separate two domains. Now it's more close to each other. And it is expected that projects deliver innovations fast, and operations are expected to adopt these outputs from projects fast. in many ways, the organization projects so generates value in financial or social value. So value generation, value management also a topic for project management now. So when we consider earlier projects, we were focusing on scope, time, and budget, right? Three constraints. And these criteria are not enough anymore for the success of an initiative, investment of a project. So therefore, the new success criteria is the value delivery and benefit realization. To achieve this, we need to optimize our risks and satisfy our customer expectation by focusing added value still through portfolio management, program and project management. So with the fact that we need to focus on value management, so also PMBOK is transforming from process-based standard to principle-based standard, and this update PMBOK will be launched, I think, in coming months, and also PMBOK 7 will bring a value delivery system. So this will be the focus for PMBOK 7. It's how we create value, what should be the organizational governance systems, what are the functions in projects, and project environment is the focus. And also product management will be considered in PMBOK 7 as well. So there are 12 principles which will guide to mindset, actions, and behaviors for project delivery, and also agile, lean, and customer-centered design. And the performance domains, and those are these are the group of activities that that will impact the performance of the project. So principles are our guidelines. The performance domains are the things, the attributes we have to consider for the success of our project, based on our facts, our environment, our requirement, our customer, stakeholders, our team, what kind of life cycle we need to implement for a project. So this is, in fact, allows us to tailor how we manage the project based on our facts, but in the light of project management principles. Yes, agility also important aspects of the digital world and for the innovation especially. So since we are living in uncertain and complex environment, so we cannot know all the requirements at one time. Therefore, we can start with the minimum viable product, and later we can add new features, or we can learn from our tests and trials. So this is an agile approach, especially in digital application, digital projects. It is very applicable. But there are also times that we use waterfall methodology and hybrid portfolios. So it is all up to our environment and facts. But agility is, currently very much efforts and new techniques are presented, developing. So as you see, this is there are several methodologies already in the PMBOK 6 presented, and those are addressing different aspects. So here, for the agility, overall agility, so we need to focus personal agility and team agility and organizational agility. And for this to take place in this domain, and also to give more value on this domain, PMI acquired discipline Agile, and now providing the content and also certification for discipline Agile. So as you see, this landscape of digital is very complex, so it's hard to find the way, and one cannot be expert on all these areas and which methodology to choose, because there are several approaches. So therefore, we need some guideline to navigate in the landscape, Agile landscape. And one of the goal of discipline Agile is to guide us to find our way of working. So discipline, choose your way of working, or discipline Agile. Defines that one standard approach cannot fit all the organizations and all the projects. Therefore, provide some guideline to help you to find your way in this landscape. So PMTQ, PM Technology Quotient, is also a critical skill for the project managers, because now all the projects has a technology component. So project managers, we expect they should have some digital skills. They should know technology. They should adapt technology into their projects, and they should be able to work in technology projects as well. So the TQ is about ability to assimilate or adapt to technology changes by developing and employing strategies to successfully include technology in our work and life. This is the definition. And also this PMTQ requirement has been identified in the Pulse of Profession 2020 report. So, we have a three-dimensional talent skill set. And now also digital skills seems to appear as a fourth dimension, as a demanded skills. So as project managers, program managers, portfolio managers, we should update ourselves in this domain as well. So maybe this is. Sorry.
It could have been my one just as easily, Tolga.
This one.
These things happen.
Okay, so maybe this is this technology domain dimension is is not so easy because you know, technology is evolving so fast. It's hard to follow sometimes. I am in technology domain 25 years. So even for me, it's sometimes hard. So you need to give dedication on this to follow what's coming, what will be the impact to economy and business. So I think eyes of project managers should open for this. Otherwise, of course, although you have business skills, technical skills, project technical skills, and leadership skills, without this, I think it's easy to be outdated in the market, job market. Okay, we have in this world, we have also other tools and other considerations we need to take care for our projects, like alignment of the project with the strategy and deliver for the strategy. And design thinking is very important to identify the requirements from all the aspects, all the stakeholders, all the users. And innovation process, of course, we need to incorporate the develop the innovation process for our organization, because without generating innovation or without being innovative, it is hard to be competitive, also hard to generate the value for our customers, for our community. DevOps, as I mentioned, projects and operations are getting closer to each other. So the DevOps technique is to help how operation can adapt the project changes, how projects can learn from the operations. So DevOps technique will help for this, and they have to work together, projects and operations. So digital transformation and maturity models. So in fact, currently we are facing transformation, digital transformation. According to some reports, this digital transformation is already over. So we are in post-digital era. But I believe maybe this is valid for some markets, but most of the markets still in digital transformation phase. And there are also maturity models regarding digital maturity models. So project managers can develop themselves in those models to be able to more business acumen. And there are also industry-specific and industry-specific or country-specific digital agendas. So I will suggest project managers should follow those agendas, like digital agenda in Ireland, digital agenda of Europe. Even if you have customers in other markets, of course, follow those agendas. So they'll improve ourselves for the customer experience and user experience management concept. And yeah, in digital world, as I say, startups, entrepreneurs are very big players, very fast players. Also, it is expected from the entrepreneurs and from the organizations to have entrepreneur mindset. To be innovative, to be agile and fast in this world. So for project managers, I think this is a big hassle. So now every product has a component of digital component. Therefore, cybersecurity is a big scope item for the projects. So project managers should improve themselves for the cybersecurity and should use cybersecurity management in the projects. And data protection regulations. So almost all the countries has their own regulations. For example, in Turkey, in finance industry, you cannot store your data out of the country. So without knowing this, you cannot manage a project. So, as such, I think every country has such regulations. So project managers better to follow those. And also a new concept is citizen developers. So since we have a scarce source of software developers, so it is expected everyone should have some software development capability. So not software, but application development capability, because these no-code, low-code solutions enable us to develop applications by any user. So this is, I think, will be any other big wave in coming years. Sure, there are other tools and techniques and capabilities that I missed here, but these are the ones in my radar. Yes, in fact, innovation never stops. So the technology needs to innovate and differentiate beyond the foundation adoption of digital tools and concepts. So in this era, we built trust with the customers, employees, and business partners and communities through using the technology in every management level, and to try to grow and succeed, right? And also innovation will continue to solve the world's most complex problems, such as feeding the growing population, improving access to quality of healthcare, significantly reducing carbon emissions, use AI for medicine development, and 5G-based innovations, robots in every industry. I think we'll start mainly with, soon to start with retail. And more innovations will come through our projects, and we will adapt those innovations also for our projects. So therefore, we should adjust also our way of working accordingly. So these are the main messages from my side. I try to give some definition of the digital world, what are the aspects, and how project management address those technology evolution and digital world challenges.
Well, Tolga, that's very interesting. I know there's a couple of things I popped in the chat, and we did have a question. So if anyone has questions, pop them in. I've actually got a few of my own and a few pointers. But we did have one question here. Just wondering if there's any data to support that with the growing digital economy, that there is also an increasing growth in security challenges. So in your research, have you seen any development in the area of cybersecurity as well?
Yes, I mean, not data, but yes, experience. I mean, it's experience from Turkish market. I have during this pandemic period, several e-commerce companies are attacked and their data stolen. Also, in the past, we faced even Google and Facebook data has been stolen, right? So, I mean, these are a big scale. But even you have a application, small application for your project, so you should consider this application can be attacked and some fraud, some misuse can happen. So it can be an attack, it can be a fraud. So this is the reality of today. So although so far this cybersecurity is considered as a very specific domain and needs very specific expertise, but at the end, it will impact the products of the projects. And so project managers should consider the security aspects also.
You know, Tolga, that's quite interesting. You mentioned there in your response about the big hacks that we hear about, you know, the Facebooks and the Googles, but very recently here in Ireland, a local national, we'll call it a national courier company, had its database hacked while actually they were in the middle of a project implementation, and all of the data of the customers, which is effectively their names and their addresses and probably their mobile phone numbers, but not, I think, credit card details, but all that detail was downloaded in a hack essentially. And it, like for me as a project professional, it brought it home to me. That's a local national company. It doesn't have international focus, but how many companies must actually be impacted by those kind of things happening on a daily basis. And I see in the company that I work with, which is in the financial services industry, security is of the utmost important. The additional testing and the additional infrastructure that is implemented around our digital front end is, you know, absolutely essential. You know, it's taken extremely seriously. So, so for me as a project professional and with a team of project managers working with me, we've all had to understand in our projects already, does this project have a digital element? Yes, it does. Okay, I've got a whole strand of work stream now in my project that's all around the digital security. And even very recently with compliance, with cookie compliance. So I think maybe everyone on this webinar might notice that they're being asked more about their cookie preferences as an example. This is one of the ways where our regulator actually it was an EU directive, but even in that project now, every digital project that we have from now on, we have a section in our requirements that says, is your project introducing new cookies or making changes to existing cookies? So we would never have asked that question a year ago, and now it is imperative, and you won't get your requirements signed off without it. So even in those small ways, because I think sometimes what I found really interesting about your presentation is I learned a lot from it. And there's a few things in the chat there to us as the panelists about, you know, never heard of blockchain before, didn't know what blockchain was. But to bring it from that international down to the local level to understand that we are already being impacted by these things, and we just need to put a name to it, really, you know.
That's true. So in fact, my purpose was to open the eyes. So what can be the topic of your projects in coming maybe 5 years? And also we have new works in our work breakdown structure. So like cybersecurity.
Yeah, so, exactly. Yeah. And it's interesting, guys, and I did pop a few things in the chat, and what I might do is follow up with them afterwards as links. So if there is any other questions, just drop me a note there. But just to say, Tolga, you mentioned in one of your lists design thinking, and we did have a webinar last year that was presented on the topic of design thinking, and that is available on our archive for people to watch back. And I am actually starting to hear it more and more, and recently in fact sat in a presentation, and it was, the whole focus was around, we need to switch how we're doing things, we need to move towards design thinking. So it can be a useful way to pop into that webinar, look at the recording, and just, you know, maybe update yourself on what design thinking is all about. And the
Of
other one that
course,
you mentioned,
also, sorry, of course, you can also check new product of PMI, Wicked Problem Solving. This is also about design thinking.
the wicked problem solving. Yes, you're right.
Yes.
That's actually another one that we have to talk about. There's also, you mentioned about the citizen developer. That's also something that PMI has running as well. So I think, as you just said there, I suppose the focus of your presentation to us today is to kind of really show us all of the many different ways that the project economy is coming to us, and some of them are so obvious, you know. Oh, we all now have mobile phones, and we all have apps on our phones. We all hear about the driverless cars, etc. But so they're the big ideas and the big things that are happening, but also there are the things that are happening locally that are going to hit you on your project. So having the knowledge and understanding of it helps you, because it prepares us essentially. But I'll have a look at the wicked problem solving as well. So I think it's actually its own website, isn't it? It's wickedproblemsolver.com. But we'll have a look at that.
It is very very fun training. I recommend everyone to check.
Very good. We'll have a look at that and we'll follow up. And the other area just to mention is for upcoming reference, you as chapter members have heard us say this quite a few times in the last year. The PMBOK model is updating and it is soon to be released. It is going from PMBOK 6 to PMBOK 7. And I loved that slide that you shared, which gave a nice, just one-page visual of what's changing. And I love that the focus is moving, as you said, with the digital economy as well. The focus needs to move to benefit realization and how are we managing our risks and how are we managing change so that we get the benefits and the value from our projects. And that's a nice little synopsis of one way in which PMBOK is going to change. And hopefully,
this is in fact reflection of the field practice into PMBOK 7. Also, as product, you can check a standard plus of PMI. So it is a complementary website for the PMBOK 7. So it's already launched. Standards plus.
Yeah, it's I will make sure, guys, that we get all of those links across maybe in the follow-up email, because it's it'll be interesting reading and it just kind of keeps us up to date. And we also, of course, have the disciplined agile that's also part of the PMI curriculum as well. So so I think it's good to see. We'll probably start to wrap up there. I mean, it's interesting that PMI is I would say maybe following along with the curve. That there are the wicked problem solving, that there is disciplined agile, there is the citizen developer. There's a lot going on, and you guys all have access to those things and access to the information as members. So check those out and keep yourself up to speed.
Just maybe one more update. It's PMI is about to launch strategy 4.0. So in this strategy, the PMI is targeting to reach wider audience and name this audience as change makers. So project practitioner is a subset of change makers, but PMI product and services will address change makers.
It's very interesting. Yeah, it is. I think shifting towards benefits realization, which maybe historically it is, maybe we see that shift more when we move from project maybe towards program or portfolio management. But as project managers, I think we need to keep our eye on that ball as well and understand, is our project delivering a value or delivering a benefit to the company? So it's definitely worth checking out those items. So I think I will do a little quick close out here for everyone. I think you guys are all familiar with this already. Tolga, thank you so much. I mean, from my point of view, even just those slides, just the myriad ways in which the digital economy is encroaching on us is quite fascinating, and to see it all on a handful of slides as well has been very informative. So thank you very much for that.
My pleasure.